name's Loudon Swain, and last week I turned 18. I wasn't ready for it. I haven't done anything yet. So I made this deal with myself. This is the year I make my mark.
So, if you've ever been in our weight room or our wrestling room, there's a yellow box painted on the blue padding. And maybe you've asked yourself, what in the heck is that yellow box for? Well, today's Philosophy Friday, I'm going to explain what is the yellow box. That yellow box represents high school, and the entire blue wall represents your life if you live to be 80 years old. So as you can see, high school is a very short period of time in the grand scheme of a full life. So I've given my yellow box speech always every year at the beginning of wrestling season, but last year at the beginning of the school year we had a big yellow box on the wall of the gym. So a lot of you guys might have heard this speech before. But you know, high school is a tiny part of a long and full life, and the thing is, there are only certain things that you can experience in high school. There's lots of things you can experience throughout your life, and you know, high school is a tiny part of that. You'll spend a lot of time looking back at your high school days. So that brings up, what experiences do you want to have? What experiences are you looking to have in high school? So the question is, what are you going to put in your yellow box? So in order to have certain experiences, and to put the things that you want to have happen within the yellow box, sometimes there's things you have to do, but there's also things you might need to take out of your yellow box that are currently in there. And you know, some of you seniors, your yellow box is pretty thin right now because you don't have a whole lot of time left in high school. Think about, what experiences do you truly want to have? And then go about getting that stuff done. Do what you have to do in order to have those experiences. And you know, especially with the things that have just happened in Cedar Edge, but even before Reed, I'm sure everyone can think of someone who hasn't made it to the end of their blue wall. And that brings up to a certain idea that you don't want to waste what you have. You know, you're given this yellow box, and you're given it daily. And don't waste it, because once you're past that day, or you're past your high school, you can't go backwards. You only go forwards on the wall. You know, when you're an old man like me, we have a daily yellow box as well. And what experiences do you want to have on that day? You've got a long time to live after high school, but then again, maybe you don't. So, you know, as far as that goes, use your yellow box to the best of your ability. And I mean, that's basically how this speech usually ends when I give it in school. But since this is, you know, made for YouTube and everything like that, I'm going to expand on it a little bit. And you know, when I get really busy, a couple years back, you know, you have some anxiety that you have to get a lot of stuff done. And the best way I've found to cope with a lot of that is a prayer I found, and I hung it up in my bathroom. And it says, Father, you give me exactly the right amount of time and the right amount of grace to do what pleases you today, and help me to joyfully discover what that is. And I think that's great. And when you feel overwhelmed, I think that's a really good thing to focus on, because we always think about what experiences we want to have, and you know, what do we got to get done today, and what deadlines do we have to meet, and all the millions of commitments that we have. But when you focus back to, you know, priorities of family and faith, and you think, oh, I have so much to do, but really you are given the exact right amount of time and the exact right amount of grace to do what's asked of you in that day. And you know, that was something when I first started, when I first put that prayer up, you know, it was something that I looked at when I was really stressed out. But it's gotten to the point where, you know, every morning I take a look at it and I think about, okay, here's my yellow box for the day. And what is it that I'm supposed to achieve on this day? And how am I supposed to treat people? And what am I supposed to get done? You know, what's really important on this day? So you don't control the circumstances that you're in. Really, the only thing you have to control and what you have to decide is what you're going to do with the time that you're given. So it comes down to you control your attitude, you control your effort, and you can't ask anything more of a person than that. So your yellow box, it's a great time. High school is fantastic, and you'll look back with fond memories and do what you want to do and have the experiences you want to have. And if there's something that's holding you back because you're nervous about trying it, forget about it. Just jump in and try it, because you can work for the rest of your life. You know, you can do all these other things, and you have your yellow box, and make the most out of it.
I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. There are other forces at work in this world, Frodo, besides the will of evil. Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you also were meant to have it. And that is an encouraging thought.